Okay. Welcome, everyone. Let me see if I can get this icon to quit doing that. You know what I may do is... Oh, okay, let me leave it like that. All right. When you have a tablet and a keyboard both plugged in at the same time, they tend to act really strange together. But that's technology. Anyway, hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing all right. And I know there will be some more folks joining us in a few minutes. So let's kind of give them a minute. Excuse me. Darren's entertaining a guest who wanted to come over today, and they're working on something up front. So I don't know how well we'll hear them. I've got the door closed, but they might pick up. They're working on a model, so there we are. Have our emblem of Neith. I tell you what, I'll put it horizontal like that, and there we go. Let's see who else here. Hey, Alejandro, welcome back. We won't have Darren dropping crazy Lady Gaga references this time, but I did get some footage of us that's going to go in outtakes. I have been working on videos for the YouTube channel. One of them was kind of an ongoing project because I had to make something for the video, and so I only just finished the recording this week. So I'll finish getting all that together over the weekend, hopefully, and for the end of the month, you'll have some more videos up. So, including some outtakes and stuff on Patreon. So, I always encourage you, if you can, to go and check that out. But in the meantime, I hope everyone's doing well. And in spite of all the weird things that continue to go on. And what's really funny is apparently in the middle of all of the stuff that's going on, Japan has a life-size Gundam that they actually did some tests with it and have it moving. So we have wildfires and storms and pandemics and all this, and Japan has a moving mobile suit. Fun times. But let's see. Okay, and hi Jay, welcome. Yeah, and I know there'll be some more folks joining us. Glad to have you. And yes, I'm. The way it's been working out, I tend to end up having some kind of new video each month, and usually it's at the end of the month. But this one I've been working on in segments, so hopefully it'll be lots of fun. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get started. This evening we're honoring Neith and Tutu. We've got our little Sphinx, at her feet. And also Aset, because on Wednesday, it was the feast of Aset going forth rejoicing for Horus. So, gotta have a little bit of a love for Aset in there, because she's kind of a big deal these days. But same. Pardon? I can hear you. Just hang tight. We got to kind of get things started because I think there were some folks that wanted to make sure that we didn't go too long. I noticed our services tend to average about an hour to an hour and 5 minutes. We'll try and keep things on task. So let's get started. And for those of you that are on Facebook and are interested, there's also the Church of Flesh and Feather. They do things on Saturday mornings. I'm just lately have been really horrible about getting up in the AM instead of the PM hours. Blame COVID, I guess. But for those of you that are up, around that, it's 10 a.m. Central. They do something on Facebook. So in the meantime, these cool waters are upon our hands. They purify us as Tefnut purifies us. Hail unto you, Necheru. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands. Our purity is within our hearts. We cast out all evil that pertains to us. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. Yes, and hopefully I got some good footage last week of Darren flicking water at me so you can see exactly what's going on. I don't know why he thinks the water's that cold. It's just tap water. So maybe if you have a lot to cleanse. No. We'll tease him with that next time. Okay. And we will start with Neith, and she will light our eye of Horus. Come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light. The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light. The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes till none remain. Receive the light. The eye of Horus comes throughout the four corners. And we are purified with it. Receive the light. And we'll also light a candle for Aset, or Isis. There we go. Okay. And also, it happens to be today another decade, which would be a 10-day ancient Egyptian week. If I remember correctly, our 7-day week is based on a Babylonian calendar, but the Egyptians drew theirs as based on movements of stars, and you would have a new group of stars that would be visible every 10 days. And, you'd have 36 weeks over the course of a year, and of course, 360 degrees, 36 times 10 is a perfect circle, and, all sorts of neat things like that. But the way it works out is a week and a half of ours would be a full Egyptian week. And the last day of the week would be when they would honor the blessed dead. Great and little in needs of the gods, lords of Ma'at, united in Ma'at, great ones who reject wrongdoing. Assemble before the Lord of all, and turn your faces toward us. Our hearts are straight, our hearts are open. No darkness is in our hearts. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from noon at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. And of course, we invoke Ra when we do our beginning, but legitimately you could also invoke Neith as creatress in this case, because in certain traditions she was the one who came first, and Hika is her son. So the god Hika, who also personifies magic and the ability to make things happen. But she's also credited as the fashioner of Ra, so, she was in the very beginning, and then there was Ra in his form in the beginning. So, hail and praise unto you, O Ra. Hail and praise unto you, O Neith, Aset, O Unachuru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out his fet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your strength being before us, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Okay. Hold on. We got to do our. We're going to do our offerings next. Take these, your cool waters that are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. O Neith, O Isis, O Kemetic, O Yunachuru, O Osir. These waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. We give you this sweet milk, which comes from Mehetoret, that it may rejuvenate you. May it always be present upon your altar on the 10th day feast. We give you incense. We give you incense great to purity. Its fragrance is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you, cleanses you, it adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. O Necharu, we give you this eye of Horus, and its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread, your produce of the land, on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, O Necharu. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. The gardens prosper and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill this eye of Horus for you with wine. Ra, Osir, Yunachiru, drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Okay. Here it is. Okay. And I'm going to use our vessel over here. We'll give a special libation for Osiris because that was the point of the Decade Feast, was bringing water to Osiris and the Blessed Dead. So we will offer it to Osiris and then bring it to their table, to our Aku section, if you will. Oh, sir, take this, your libation, which is of this land, which produces all things. All things indeed come forth from this, upon which you live, upon which you exist. And the sweet milk which comes from the great flood, which comes from the table of Osiris, may it rejuvenate our blessed dead. This candle for me. There we go. This eye for us. There we go. Okay. And of course, if you're familiar with how we've done this, we We offer myrrh, then we revert the offerings, and then after that we say the voice offering prayer for the blessed dead, and that's when we will remember them, and that's the point where we'll invoke them by name, those that you wish to honor specifically. But first, one more candle. Not sure how long this one will last, but the more the merrier. Pure is Amun-Ra Horeketi within his house. Pure is Osir within his house. Pure is Neith within her house. And Tutu within his house. Aset within her house. Sekhmet within her house. And all of these Nochiru within their house. Pure are the cause of these gods with this myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance. Thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, on which God lives. For Amun-Ra Horeketi, for Osir, for Neith, for Aset and their needs, in every place that their mortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horeketi, Amun-Ra. Come to your body, O Osir. Come to your body, O Neith, Aset, O Tutu. All of you Nochiru, come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people. Raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Amun-Ra, before Osir, before Neith, before Aset, before Tutu. All life comes from them, all health comes from them, all stability comes from them, all good fortune comes from them as it has since the first time. O Amun-Ra Horeketi, Osir Kenti Amentiu, and your son, the Osir Nisud Nevkeprura. Your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these your offerings and receive them from our hands. And may you share these offerings with our blessed dead, including Justice Ginsburg, Jory's Grandma Jane, Aunt Dee Dee, Markle Buford, Lily Rose, and friend David Saphir, Sister Marietta, and all those who continue to live on in the hearts of those that love them. Warakau ta henket kakao abdu sinachirad kutnibet nafra wabet onked nachirim and kalinakufunibu makernibu kirnachira. A voice offering of bread, beer, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which a God lives, for the cause of all of these Aku, all true of voice before the great God. Okay, I'm going to slip over here for a second. Hi everyone, Celery, Leg of and Gavid. I think I'm saying it right. Silverwine, hi guys. At this point, we're going to read some hymns for our deities, and then we'll go on to our prayer requests, because I do have a few of those. And you're, of course, welcome to, add them as we go along. And I have a fresh, brand new fortune cookie for today, which I happened to pick up because we went to Panda Express. So I said, let me save that fortune cookie for our service. So, what's up? Because we had some folks that were asking about trying to keep it, to a certain time length, I want to try and hang on, to that, because I know you had posted some things, and I definitely want to encourage people, if you're on the Facebook group, to go and check out the hymns that Jory posted there to our group. So if you'll just give me just a second. Okay. We'll start off with something for Neith, something for Tutu, and then an excerpt from the Litany of Ra. And also we'll do the Litany to Sekhmet, not only because of the fact that it's rather appropriate given what's going on. We've also had several requests for prayers for health, and certainly she would be the appropriate deity to ask. So one of many, really. So, hail unto you, O Neith the Great, the one who existed before existence. You who made all that is, who created all that exists. Eldest of the primeval gods, fashioner of Ra, mother of Ra who was at the beginning. Unique one without equal, mistress of destiny, regent of fortune. Earth is under your command. One does not make plans without your knowledge. Queen of the gods in heaven, sovereign of the gods in the earth. Mistress of the bow, regent of the arrow, who keeps the arrow demons under your authority. Mistress of great fear, who created the twin crocodiles. Life and death are under your supervision. You fill sky and earth with your beauty, light the two lands with the rays of your eyes. You encompass your son as the light of the two lands. Father of fathers, who makes fertile the seed of gods and men. Great cow who nourishes all things. Mother of mothers, who is like no other. Hail unto you, O Tutu, Peti, Lord of Strength. Hail unto you, Nebkenu, the Lord of Strength. Hail unto you, Nacht Kopesh, the mighty of forearm. Hail unto you, Tutu, Seher Sebiu, who drives away the enemies. Hail unto you, who stirs up uproar every month in Sais. Hail unto you, O Lion, O great protector, swift of pace, who wards off the Katsu demons. Master of the arrow demons, master of the demons of Sekhmet and the wandering demons of Bastet. Hail, O Tutu, who has no equal. The messengers act according to your word. Now that's straight from my notes. I have yet to compose it as a proper hymn, but that is forthcoming. Very quick excerpt from the Litany of Ra, because the full litany is like 75 different incarnations, if you will, of Ra that he makes as he goes through the underworld, because that's where the litany is preserved, is in the tombs of certain New Kingdom pharaohs. But we'll read just a little bit of it. Hail and praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, Lord of the caverns within him with hidden forms, who goes to rest in the mysteries when he transforms into Deba, the one joined together. Praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, Khepri, who folds his wings, who goes to rest in Duat, and transforms himself into he who comes out of his own members. Praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, exalted earth who gives birth to his gods, he who protects what is in him, who transforms himself into he at the head of his cavern. Praise unto you, O Ra, exalted and powerful, who makes the earth visible, who gives light to those in the west, whose forms are his being, when he transforms himself into his great disk. Praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, Ba, who speaks, resting on his bank, who protects the spirits of those in the west while they breathe through him. Praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, unique one, powerful heart, joined to his body, who calls his gods while passing through the mysterious caverns. Praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, who calls his eye, who addresses his head, who gives wind to the Bas in their places that they receive breath. Praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, becoming Ba, who annihilates his enemies and decrees the punishment of the wicked dead. Praise unto you, Ra, exalted and powerful, darkened one in his cavern, who decrees that there be darkness in the cavern to hide he who is within it. And we'll stop at 9 because 9 is a number of totality, and it is the number of the original Enid. Enid is a Greek word that means, the Egyptians called the group of gods, the 9, because in Heliopolis you had Ra and then the successive generations that formed a total of 9 deities. And those are the ones, plus a few friends that we invoke when we close our ceremonies with the prayer that the offerings endure. So, let's go ahead and light our candle for Sekhmet. Hail, Sekhmet the Great, Eye of Ra, who hides him within her iris. Hail, Sekhmet, sovereign, mistress of light, who moves in brightness. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of darkness, at whose setting the darkness comes. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of fear, whose seal brings death. Hail unto you, Sekhmet, daughter of Ra, who loves Ma'at, who detests Svet. Most holy of the gods, one seeks life in you. Okay. First, I have several requests. Oh, you're not sure. Please turn your faces toward us and hear our prayers. Yamanu asks for healing for his foot and hips and kidneys. He's suffering from pain. And also asks for financial support and protection from unwanted forces. Our friend Wolf asks for speedy recovery because he had a tooth pulled on Tuesday. Very stubborn one with long roots. And also protection for the house that he lives in to be safe from fire because he had some electrical shorts last night. And it's something I can certainly empathize with because I have to say thank you again to the gods for not letting our house burn down last year because we had a brother who wasn't really qualified to do electrical work do a little bit of it, and we caught it in time. So thanks again, and please look over Wolf and his house. Jory asks for health and to find love and to honor his blessed dead. Our friend Rebecca asks for his her stepdad who's having surgery, that he come through that well. And our friend Faith asks that she soon move into an apartment where she'll be happy, peaceful, and safe. So we ask for peace, happiness, and protection for those that we love and for those that are part of our family. Being the family here in front of this altar. And hold on a second. This brand new candle. I really hate it when they do that. Sometimes what happens is they get a little bit too much wax. Let's see. There we go. We'll see if that'll do it. Okay, I'm going to peek over here and see what other requests we've got. Okay. Oh, and someone else got a fortune. So when your heart is pure, your mind is clear. Very good. Um, and if you're feeling down, try throwing yourself in your work. Yes, one thing that I observed is that we talk about keeping our dreams alive. There are sometimes when our dreams help keep us alive. You know, I have been in that position many times. Okay, request for healing and strength from Sekhmet. Okay, and a prayer of thanksgiving for my grandmother. We learned that she does not have leukemia. That's awesome. And okay, there's a power surge on this side of town, and a few sockets were not wired right. Yes, I don't know what it is, but it seems like anytime you move into a house, you find out if it's not a brand new one, and even sometimes when it is, you find out what was done right and what was not. And people do strange things when they're customizing a house, but that's like a whole other thing. Because I have people who work on houses in my family, I know more about that and could probably talk more about those kinds of things. It gets into talking shop, and that gets really weird. But let's say some more prayers for Sekhmet. Because, hold on a sec. Let's see. Here we are. Say our the 7 arrows of Sekhmet. Hail, Sekhmet, who presides over the land, lady of flourishing, generous one, Sekhmet, who protects the 2 lands. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the first arrow of famine. Hail, Sekhmet, O Curl, O hidden lady, Wajit the great. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the second arrow of drought. Drought and fire. Hail, Sekhmet, who moves in light, who terrifies the gods with her massacre. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the third arrow of war. Hail, Sekhmet, who guides mankind, lady of the dual shores, mistress of humanity. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the fourth arrow of terror. Hail, Sekhmet, great shining one, foremost in the mansion of flame, who terrorizes the 2 lands with fear. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the 5th arrow of storms. Hail, Sekhmet, who loves Ma'at and hates Isfet, lady of the people. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the 6th arrow of oppression. Hail, Sekhmet, Uraeus, who opens the acacia, great and sovereign one. Come to us who are under your sway. Save us, protect us, and preserve us from the 7th arrow of disease. Yes, and while I do have Egyptian language versions for a lot of these things, I think what might actually be better would be to try to record something separate in Egyptian language so that then I can make a video of it and I can have the words, and it'd be its own little thing, and you can watch it in your own time, hit repeat if you want, and it can kind of be its own thing rather than interrupting the flow when we're doing a live service, and we're all, conversing in English. But, huh? Say again? Oh, dot hieroglyphics work for me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay, and request for healing from Bastet for my sister who's afflicted by a cerebral fluid leak. Ooh, that sounds scary. So, okay, what's your prayer request, sweetheart? Okay, so for Sekhmet and Maat, okay. For a request for justice for some things that happened to you, right? Okay. Well, Lady Sekhmet, protectress of the people, please take care of our friend Jory and give him, um, you know, peace and justice for things that happened to him, and for all those who have had to deal with um, unfairness, assault, bullying, things like that. That don't know where to turn. Give them peace, give them strength, give them guidance. Yes. And yes, and let's tell you what. Let's start with Bast because we had a request for healing from her. Here we are. Hail and praise unto you, Bastet, Lady of Love, Lady of Life, daughter of Atum, firstborn of the Lord of all, great goddess, Lady of Heaven, mistress of all the gods. You open the movements of Shu, for he is your messenger. You slaughter with your arrows, you slay the evil one and seize the hearts of the wicked foes. Lady of the shrine, foremost of the sacred fields, mistress of perfume, mistress of joy. O Eye of Horus, O Eye of Ra, Uraeus whom Ra loves, protect us and protect our friend and their loved ones. Protect us until the dawn. And I know I've got something good for Ma'at here. Just flip to that. Okay, there's a litany to Ma'at and to Ra together. O Ra who sets with Ma'at, Ma'at is joined to his brow. O Ra who rises with Ma'at, Ma'at embraces his beauty. O Ra effective through Ma'at, Ma'at is secured to his bark. O Ra mighty through Ma'at, whereon he lives every day. O Ra who made Ma'at, and to whom one offers Ma'at. You place Ma'at in our hearts that we may raise her up to your Ka. We know you live in her, and it is you who made her body. We are straight ones, free of lies, who do not practice deception. May we bring to you Ma'at, that we may. I don't know. I didn't think my phone could buzz like I was getting a message while we were in a video chat, but apparently it did. But okay, that's where the litany ends. But I'm adding to it the request, for justice for those who seek it. Okay. Let's see what other requests. Okay, your sister, excuse me, but definitely we hopefully we can raise a little energy and invoke some help and some healing from the gods. And I think Darren is again he's attending the company right now, but I think he wanted a request for his mom. Because she lives down in one of the areas that was affected by Hurricane Laura, and she's okay, and her trailer is okay, but her freezer outside was without power for some time, and she didn't know about it until she discovered the aftermath. And so she's having to deal with a lot of cleanup and a lot of issues with that. I guess one takeaway from this is a lot of people talk about having generators when there's a storm. Well, sometimes the generators fail, so have a backup plan, I guess. But also, she goes through a lot of things, and it's very difficult when you have loved ones who are far away and you can't just go and help them as much as you want to. And I know that weighs very heavily on Darren's heart, certainly, because And he loves his mom very much and wishes that he could do more. And I see how it weighs on him. And so this, I think, would be a good request for you, Lady Aset, because you are a patroness of mothers, and um, you certainly know Darren's heart and know how much he loves his mother. If you could please look after her and give him some peace in knowing that his mom's all right, and that he is a good son, and he is very diligent on her behalf, because sometimes we lose sight of things like that. Okay. Say what? Yes, Moot also, and of course her name is Mother. Yeah, so yeah. Hey, Josh. Yeah, sleep. Do not worry about sleep schedules, because ours have, we're at this point we're doing really good to get to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. um, you know. Say what? Yes. What is this thing called sleep schedule? Yeah. Yeah. Well, and see, when you're working from home, and you've got quote unquote flexible hours, that makes it harder, because, you don't have that incentive to get up. Okay, we had to get up for a 10 o'clock meeting on Wednesday, but otherwise, it's like, oh yeah. That's why I really enjoyed it when I got to go and tune into something that the Church of Flesh and Feather was doing. I happened to be up one Saturday morning, but most of the time I miss it, because, Saturday it's like, it's usually about 12:30 or so when we get up. So, yeah. So, oh, hang on. Huh? So what? Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I won't be able to stay on afterwards, because I'm gonna have to check on company. But yeah, I think I roll a d20 every day to see when I sleep. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do our divination then. And we will see what fortune we have for tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and light our little fanoose lamp. So, ladies, if you would be so kind as to give us a little bit of insight for the week. And it says, you have a fine capacity for the enjoyment of life. Well, I guess what that means is, there's so much crap going on right now. Don't lose sight of the things to be enjoyed. And I can say, I've been enjoying the fact that the weather's been a little bit drier and cooler, the last few days. And things have been coming in from the garden, and we have friends, and, um, there are lots of little simple things to be enjoyed. So I guess that's their message is use your capacity and enjoy what you have around you. And if we've got any other requests, certainly. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay. What'd you say about October? Yes. Yes, and the pumpkin spice things that will be, available all over the place. Yeah. Last year, I saw a sign somewhere. Somebody had put up. It was pumpkin spice tires now available. And of course, the joke being that everything's available in pumpkin spice at this time of year. So, but oh, okay. I see some comments here. And now that it's October time, start watching Mummy's Alive again. Oh, you know, it's funny. God, Mummy's Alive. That's going back to the mid to late '90s. The same folks in Vancouver that did a lot of other things like Beast Wars, the English dub for Gundam Wing, and stuff like that, worked on Mummy's Alive. And Scott McNeil was the voice of Scarum in that. You would also know him as Duo Maxwell from Gundam Wing, and like 4 different characters from Beast Wars, and yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. But here's Scarum in Mummy's Alive. Yeah, that we got to meet last year. Yeah. You know what? I did not get to see the series very much of it because I was in college at the time and didn't have a whole lot of cable and really didn't have much access to TV. So from about 1995 to 1999, sometime in early '99. Around that time frame, I is almost a blackout for TV. I saw very little because I was just kind of absorbed in art school. But huh? Mm-hmm. Well, not free YouTube, but free Netflix kind of. Oh, okay. It has a lot of the old cartoons from our era. Huh. And one of those is a lot of things that have Scott McNeil. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I saw a place in Wisconsin was offering pumpkin spice oil changes. That's awesome. I'm going to have to share that one. I know that the guys up front will get a kick out of that. But virtually everything that candy orange is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and Rebecca, I have to give kind of a shout out to the folks that have the Temple of Sumer and the Temple of Inanna, because those are a couple of Facebook groups, and their pages are very nicely done, very well organized, and gave me a little bit of inspiration so I could reword a couple of questions and try to make some things a little clearer on the Kemetic Reform Facebook page, because I noticed that there were folks that didn't understand a couple of the questions. Of course, I've got people. What's really funny is I've had folks who are that they live in Egypt and they work as tour guides, and I guess they saw it and it's like, oh, Egyptian group, let me apply. And I'm thinking, a Kemetic pagan page may not be what you're interested in. I don't know. Okay, well, if that's the case, then what you may have to do, if a couple of them are folks we may have to let me know who different people are so that I know it's okay, because trying not to let like an entire stampede of people in, because with a smaller group, it's easier to say, hey, I'm doing a service, have you got prayer requests or, things like that going on, and, be able to, it's just easier to manage with a smaller group, as opposed to something like the Imhotep BBS, which has like a zillion people on it. One guy that I know of actually makes copies of the antiquities. He's actual Egyptian too. Oh, yeah. Well, from what I understand, and I guess I'll repeat this because it's kind of relevant, because if you're like shopping and stuff, my understanding is that they have a workshop somewhere in Egypt and they call it the Pharaonic Village. And one of the things that they do is they have artisans there that make things that are like basically handmade copies of famous artifacts. And so those are, things that you can buy. But you also have to be careful because like sometimes people sell what is supposed to be papyrus and it's actually not real papyrus. It's like they make it from like banana plants or something weird like that. But so.
I would say that I have been advised that you go to Egypt if you have the opportunity. Hopefully we all do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go there, don't buy your antiquities and stuff, your souvenirs directly near where the hotel is you're staying in.
Hmm.
Go a ways out.
Hmm.
If you're not in the middle of nowhere, you can find stuff for less than half the cost of stuff. The very thing stuff.
Yeah, that would make sense, but that a lot of things will have to come to pass first before it's safe to travel, and where advice about where to buy things in Egypt would actually be relevant. Although I do look forward to that day, because I've also heard that among Egyptians living there today, there's actually a serious foodie scene. There are people that go and they and there's like a lot of burger joints doing locally, like with Middle Eastern seasoning and stuff. You could get an Egyptian burger, especially in Cairo. That's what I've heard. And so I'm trying to nudge a friend of mine that owes us some Egyptian food anyway. One day, when we can cross this off on our bucket list, you can go and you can have a burger, 3,000 miles from home. But before we wrap up, though, let's see. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, again, so in the interest, though, of trying to kind of keep us on time, and not have it, run too long. And that's the tough thing, because when you get a bunch of folks together that have common interests like this, you get so much that you can talk about, and that's kind of why, I miss doing conventions, but this is a lot cheaper and you can get more people involved. So, we'll just have to do more things like this in real time, as we get an opportunity. But for now, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. One other thing that we're going to do, before we wrap up, as another part of the decade feast, because there would also be an execration rite performed. So what we're going to do instead, what we have here is sistrums in each of the four directions, and we'll invoke two deities for each direction that preside over it, and cast out the evil one. Starting with the south, and also those of you that are familiar with with Western circle casting, there's Jezzel and Widdershins. Egyptian circles kind of, or when they do the four directions, it tends to be a different way. We go south and north, and then west and east. So it's not a sunwise circle or counterclockwise. So here we are. Yes. Hail unto you, Amun and Montu, who safeguard the world from all evil to the south. Apepe Madit, Juket Jeruber Webed, which means Apophis is annihilated, the evil one is destroyed, and the burning one is burned. Hail unto you, Shu and Tefnut, who safeguard the world from all evil to the north. Apepe Madit, Juket Der Uber Webed. Apophis is annihilated, the evil one is destroyed, the burning one is burned. Hail unto you, Neith and Wajit, who safeguard the world from all evil to the west. Apepe Madit, Juket Der Uber Webed. Apophis is annihilated, the evil one is destroyed, the burning one is burned. unto you, Sekhmet and Bastet, who safeguard the world from all evil to the east. Apep em adit, Juked der Uber Webed. Apophis is annihilated, the evil one is destroyed, the burning one is burned. Indeed, evil has been cast out. Ra proceeds in joy, and his followers grow in number and strength. And now we ask to make the offerings endure. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Capri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure, as the name of Atum, foremost of the great need, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the shrine of Shenit in Unu endures. As the name of Osir, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Aset in Nicheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Chemenu endures. As the name of Ra in the Aket endures likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Amun Ra, Horaketi, O Osir. You have come in peace, O Neith, O Tutu, O Aset. You have come in peace, O Nuturu. May you go forth in peace, O Amun Ra, Horaketi, O Osir, O Neith, O Tutu, O Aset. May you go forth in peace, O Nuturu, to every place your mortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Manjet bark and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay, guys. Well, thank you as always for tuning in. And those of you that will be tuning in later, be it, tomorrow or Sunday, thank you also for tuning in. I hope it was a good service. And I always look forward to seeing you again next week. And hopefully, in a few days, I'll be able. I always post on Patreon first, so they get to, the sneak peek of everything. And then a few days later, there will be a new Kemetic how-to guide, actually on YouTube. So it should be sometime around the beginning of October. So, what's going on tomorrow? Well, I'm not tomorrow. I'm going to be working on stuff here. But tomorrow there's another Facebook page, and it's someone who's devoted to Jehuti, and it's called Church of Flesh and Feather, and he does a service every morning, every Saturday morning around like 10 o'clock in the morning. And like I said, it's a little early for me to get up, but that's just because of the degenerate lifestyle that I lead. Haha. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. And the Pun Master should return next week. Okay.